In a world where, digital identities often feel more curated than real, what happens when that line between human and, algorithm just vanishes completely? Today, we're doing a deep dive into the really fascinating and honestly a little bit mind-bending story of Lil Miquela. She sort of burst onto the social media scene, right? Quickly got over 140,000 followers by mid-2016. That number just kept growing. But the astonishing part, she's not real. So our mission today is to try and unravel this digital enigma behind Lil Miquela. We'll look into the big theories about her existence, her purpose, and really examine what this whole phenomenon tells us about our world, the digital and physical getting all mixed up.
It's genuinely remarkable, isn't it? How much conversation and analysis just one digital entity like Miquela can spark. She's drawn in everyone, major media outlets, art critics, the public, all asking these fundamental questions about authenticity, about online presence, and we've gathered quite a bit for today. News reports, expert takes, and loads of online theories trying to pin down who or what she actually is.
Okay, so let's go back a bit. Mid-2016. That's when Lil Miquela first pops up on Instagram.
Yeah.
And almost right away, she wasn't just popular, she exploded.
Yeah.
Became this phenomenon. Within just 3 months, she'd pulled in around 65,000 followers. And like you said, that number just absolutely rocketed past 140,000 by the end of that year. It's just gone up since then.
Incredible trajectory.
Totally. And her persona was, and still is, really captivating. She presents as politically vocal, very outgoing, vibrant, seemingly living this aspirational LA life.
Yeah.
Designer clothes, exclusive parties, hanging out with real celebrity friends like musicians Tim Anderson and Tom Krell.
The whole package.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So by September 2016, the mainstream media couldn't ignore her. Dozens of articles started appearing. Outlets like Telmo News, Philip DeFranco, even the BBC were covering it. But here's the kicker, and you see it right away in the photos. She just isn't human. Her features are almost too perfect, too smooth. It hints at something else.
And it's precisely that visual strangeness, that uncanny valley effect, that really kickstarted a lot of the initial talk about Miquela. People immediately started asking, how was she made? How does this work technically? Our sources often bring up Dougie Krauss. He's an animation and visual effects veteran, got 15 years in the field. And Krauss believes she's this sophisticated mix, part 3D modeling, part actual photography, which explains that unique, almost real look. She's not just CGI, but she's definitely not just a photo either. It's this deliberate blur.
That blend really is key, isn't it? It makes her way more compelling than just a pure animation. So keeping that in mind, let's unpack the first big theory that was flying around. Miquela as performance art. This idea suggests she's a creation, maybe by one artist, maybe a group, using Instagram as their, digital stage. And this isn't totally out of left field. Using social media for art, that's been done.
There's precedent.
Definitely. Think about Amalia Ullman's Excellences and Perfections.
Yeah.
That was an Instagram performance back in 2014. She posted this photo, April 19th, just at Excellences and Perfections. Then, over 5 months, she staged this whole transformation. Went from looking like a modest art grad to this really vain, materialistic person.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty provocative. Faked breast surgery photos, posing in lingerie, stuff about pole dancing lessons. Apparently, her actual colleagues were stunned. Lots disapproved.
With that.
Then, boom, 5 months later, she posted a black and white photo of a rose. Caption, "The end excellences and perfections." Revealed it was all staged, the surgery, the lessons, everything. Performance art. Her account went back to normal, but she'd gained 85,000 new followers who'd watched this whole thing unfold.
No.
Yeah, and later she showed excellences and perfections in art galleries, got into Forbes 30 under 30. The whole piece was this sharp satire on online self-representation and celebrity culture.
What Ullman's work shows us, and Miquela too, really isn't just about blurring reality and art. It's about our willingness as humans to engage with these constructed stories, to sort of suspend disbelief. It makes you rethink what authenticity even means online. Is it the creator's identity? Or the impact of the content itself? This definitely raises that question about the boundaries of digital identity. We've seen similar things elsewhere, right? Like on YouTube, remember that, Poppy? A YouTube personality and pop star basically designed to parody Hollywood and internet culture. Thousands were confused because she was actually signed to a real record label. So it shows there's a clear history of these kinds of blurred lines where the persona is there to make a bigger point, often satirical.
That's fascinating how these ideas bounce across different platforms. So building on that, the next big theory, Lil Miquela as a viral marketing campaign. Super clever, maybe. Given that look, realistic but digital, lots of people guessed she was a promotion for, say, a new Sims game or something like that.
Makes sense visually.
Right. And viral marketing, well, it's designed to make stuff spread fast, organically, by looking real, not like an ad. It's popular because, honestly, it often tricks people into sharing without realizing it's staged or promoting something.
It can be very effective.
Totally. Like that classic example from 2012, the YouTube video of a pig supposedly rescuing a baby goat from drowning.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
It went completely viral. Major news outlets like NBC, Fox shared it, spread like crazy. Turns out, totally staged by Comedy Central for a new show they had coming up.
Oh, right.
Just shows how well these things can work, even fooling big media companies.
And it's not just about tricking people, is it? It's about tapping into something powerful, our human curiosity, our urge to share things that seem amazing or heartwarming. It kind of turns the audience into, well, unpaid marketers. If you connect this to the bigger picture, viral marketing plays on our emotions. We share surprising stuff, touching stuff, even outrageous stuff, sometimes without checking where it came from. That pig and goat video, perfect example of how even established media gets caught up in spreading unverified content. An enigma like Miquela, all mysterious. That's gold for this kind of strategy. But then again, it makes you wonder, if it's just marketing, why make the persona so complex, so layered, even politically engaged? Wouldn't something simpler work?
That is a really crucial point. It almost feels too complex, too detailed for just a standard marketing stunt. Which brings us to where the story gets really tangled. So we've talked about Miquela as maybe performance art, or maybe this clever viral marketing thing. When you look closer at Miquela herself, the details start to complicate those neat theories. They don't quite confirm them. Looking through the sources, she shows what feel like very human behaviors. She's not just on Instagram, she posts across different platforms. And her interactions, they don't feel like someone just paid to act like a young woman,
More depth.
Yeah, like there's this specific tweet she posted responding to Shane Dawson. It read as really personal, almost emotional, which felt, inconsistent with a typical PR stunt, which is usually more detached. Although apparently they talked later and it's all fine now. But still, that moment felt like it went beyond a simple campaign.
Interesting nuance.
And then there's this really intriguing bit. Miquela actually has an email address listed. So of course, reporters tried emailing her. And according to a couple of reports we saw, when they emailed Miquela, they got a reply. Not from her directly, though. It came from someone named Miquela Souza and her PR person.
Okay, that just throws a whole new layer onto it.
Right. Who are these people? Are they real? Are they part of the art? Or part of some company behind her?
So many questions.
Exactly. And Miquela has also said she has friends in the entertainment business. Her Instagram bio even linked to a Spotify playlist, described as a collection of her favorite songs from 2016, and she promised more info about them on Instagram. It's all these little details, these specific breadcrumbs that create this incredibly rich and often contradictory story around her.
What's really compelling is how these tiny details, the email response, that specific tweet, the Spotify list, they don't simplify things at all. They add these layers of profound complexity. It really forces the question, if there's a PR person, is that person real? Like representing an actual business behind Miquela? Or is that role itself just another carefully crafted part of the whole Miquela narrative? The sources we looked at are pretty clear. There's just no definitive way to know for sure what it all means. Or if the PR person is even real, an independent entity. It could all just be part of the performance, part of the mystery. And that ongoing ambiguity, that's kind of central to her whole appeal, isn't it? Her power, maybe. It just feeds endless speculation. And the truth, well, if there is one single truth, might only come out if Miquela, or whoever is behind her, decides to reveal everything. For now, the not knowing is part of the deal.
It really does leave us in this kind of captivating limbo, doesn't it? And here's where it gets really interesting, because the big question the sources kind of leave us hanging with is, does any of this ultimately matter? If Lil Miquela isn't some huge PR campaign, if she really is just this incredibly advanced performance piece, or a 3D star online, does that change anything for you listening right now? Or does it just not matter, as long as you enjoy her content, find it engaging or thought-provoking or just entertaining? It's the same question you could ask about YouTubers, right? Or streamers, or any online personality you follow. If someone you watch, someone you feel maybe connected to, pulled a Lonely Girl 15, remember that early YouTube thing where the character turned out to be fake, played by an actor?
Oh yeah, big reveal.
Right. If that happened, would you just walk away? Would it completely change how you felt about their content or the enjoyment you got from it before you knew? It really forces us to think about our own filters for what we count as real online these days.
That raises such an important point about how we engage with digital personalities, digital stories. Is it the creator's authenticity, their actual human origin that matters most? Or is it the value we get from the content itself? The art, the entertainment, the ideas? It really invites us to think about our own relationship with these online personas, these new ways of storytelling that are just popping up all over the digital world. It's not just about Miquela anymore. It's about our collective willingness to, suspend disbelief and find meaning in realities that are clearly constructed.
So as you navigate your own digital life, we hope this deep dive into Lil Miquela's enigmatic story has maybe given you some surprising facts, some new things to think about regarding authenticity. And perhaps a fresh look at how art, marketing, and maybe even genuine connection play out online. She really is this unique puzzle that keeps making us question what's real.
Absolutely. And knowledge is always most valuable when you understand it and can apply it, right? The continuing story of Lil Miquela is just such a fascinating case study. It shows how critical thinking isn't just helpful, it's essential in this world flooded with information and digitally built realities. There's always more to learn, and looking at things from multiple angles really deepens understanding, especially with stuff like this, that challenges our basic definitions of what real even means.